worker protections have been eroded for the last 40 years in this country. Now, this story is not directly COVID related, but I definitely wanted to cover this story this week because, again, this was something that was sort of in the news cycle for a very short period of time, and then everybody forgot about it. But I haven't forgot about it, and I will not forget about it. 6 people were killed in the Illinois Amazon warehouse collapse after a tornado. At least 6 people died at Amazon warehouse building, and the Amazon warehouse building that collapsed after an EF3 tornado caused major structural damage to the building on Friday, according to the Edwardsville Fire Department in Illinois. 45 people made it out of the building, with one person airlifted to a regional hospital for treatment. Edwardsville Fire Chief James Whiteford said during a Saturday evening news conference, a lot of employees took to the internal Voices of Associates message board in protest. Many workers, all of whom requested anonymity to protect their jobs, said that they had never had a tornado or even a fire drill over the course of their careers at Amazon, some dating back to 6 years. Several expressed that they would be unsure of what to do in an emergency. Now, this is the richest country in the world, folks. I mean, the richest company on the planet, held by the second richest man on the planet. Several expressed that they would be unsure of what to do in an emergency. In one case, an Amazon contractor, fearing Hurricane Ida, asked to go home early, but was told that leaving would adversely affect their performance quota. This is somebody who wanted to prepare for a hurricane, and they were told that they could not leave work because it would adversely affect their performance quota. Hold on, caller. Horrifying details have emerged from the tornado disaster at this warehouse. This broke my heart personally. Employee Larry Verdon reportedly texted his girlfriend, "Amazon won't let us leave. Amazon won't let us leave." This is the last thing he wrote to his girlfriend and the mother of his 4 children. Amazon won't let us leave. Asked why so many employees had not practiced safety drills, Kelly Nantel, an Amazon spokesperson, replied in an email, "Emergency response training is provided to new employees, and that training is reinforced throughout the year." But one former employee, Leanne Webster, who served on the safety committee at the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Kent, Washington from 2016 to last year, said that she repeatedly brought up safety concerns with management, but she was often rebuffed. A particular concern to her was the lack of safety drills, which she said had not been practiced for several years. Now, thankfully, OSHA has opened up a 6-month investigation into this warehouse collapse, and I will definitely keep you up to date with that, because what these companies are doing to their laborers who have sacrificed their lives in the middle of a pandemic, and also now in the middle of earth and hurricanes and tornadoes, is egregious. Here in the state of Indiana, an employee called for safety drills, and one of his managers told him that it's difficult to have every shift participate with people on vacation or on different schedules. Gee whiz. Other employees said that they've been told that the drills had been paused due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but Webster said that at her facility, safety drills had not been conducted since way before the pandemic. In the wake of this warehouse collapse, Bloomberg actually reported on workers' concern over Amazon's phone ban, a policy prohibiting employees from bringing their cell phones to work. Having already instituted it for years, Amazon temporarily suspended the policy during the pandemic, but has since begun to roll it back out. So these people had no idea what was happening to them, a lot of them. A lot of them had no idea that this storm was about to take their lives and probably destroying everything around them. Many workers also raised issues with the management's refusal to grant time off so that they could stay home during severe weather. In one case earlier this year, an Amazon contractor in Southern Illinois sent a letter to Amazon requesting several hours off his shift in preparation for Hurricane Ida. And that was asked, he was told that his performance evaluation would suffer. In Minnesota, the NLRB found that the Amazon warehouse workers are injured at more than double the rate of non-Amazon warehouses in that state. And here's really the egregious thing about the Edwardsville collapse right here. The really tragic, sad, and for me, infuriating thing about this, in the Democratic-controlled legislature in the state of Illinois, there was a bill just a few months ago to say that employers had to have just cause to fire its employees. And Amazon backed lobbyists blocked that bill. Think about that. In that state, where they just had that warehouse collapse, full of people who wanted to go home because they were in the middle of a tornado and they wanted to make sure that they hunkered down with their children and their families, there was a bill that could have saved a lot of their lives if they had just been allowed to stay home and hunker down with their families, or at least if they were going to pass away with their families, telling their children that they loved them and their loved ones. But instead, they had to die in a warehouse. They died in a warehouse. They were told no, they could not go and shelter with their families. And this has been something I've been saying throughout this pandemic, folks. We have been sacrificing people's lives in this country because we need things. We need things that are convenient, and we need things at a cheap price. And so we have no problem sending people into immense danger for low wages and little to no health care for when they get injured, as we talked about at the Frito-Lay plant when they went on strike not too long ago. We send these people out in the middle of pandemics, in the middle of hurricanes, in the middle of earthquakes, in the middle of tornadoes, because we need things. And it's fine that we need things or that we want things. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That allows people to have jobs and to make a living for their families. It's good that we have businesses that provide things to people and services to people. That's a good thing. But what's not a good thing is how these people are treated in service to us needing things. These people are sacrificed. They are sacrifices of capitalism, folks. That's what they are. Because we need things. I remember at the height of the pandemic, I remember going to the Family Dollar in my neighborhood, and I saw a pregnant woman there. And I could tell that she did not want to be there. Okay, this is before Omicron, which is shown to be relatively mild. This is the first incarnation, the first wave of COVID that was taking people out. You hear me? Taking people out and making people sick. The very first version. She was pregnant, which last time I checked is definitely a very high risk medical condition. But she had to go to work. If she was going to bring that child into the world, that child was going to want things and need things. Food and water and medicine and toys. And so I watched this young woman, and she was stocking the shelves, looking exhausted and tired. And I remember feeling so guilty because I just went to go get some cough drops and like some potato chips or something, like something to just help me get through the sort of most anxiety-ridden days of the pandemic. I just needed something to get me through, really, you know. Let me just get some chips and veg out while just about everything shut down. And I remember I went back to the car after I paid for everything, and I couldn't help but tearing up. Because I knew that woman, that young woman, was risking her life and the life of her unborn child in the middle of a pandemic because we need things. I knew she probably was not paid very well. I know she probably doesn't have health insurance, or if she does, it's not very good health insurance, because this is the only country in the free world that does not guarantee health insurance, health care to all of its citizens. This is the only first world country where you see medical bankruptcies. So if she being in the state that she was in, the compromised physical state that she was in, a pregnant woman, or fully pregnant, this woman had to be at least 7 months pregnant. So if she got sick and couldn't come to work no more, they could fire her like that. This is Indiana, baby. A right to work state. You have a right to work, yeah, for low wages. You have a right to work, yeah, for no health care. You have a right to work, yeah, for no vacation time. Other first world countries in Europe and other places mandate 5 weeks of vacation time. In Denmark, if you work at McDonald's, you make $22 an hour. $22 an hour. You get health care, obviously. It's a first world country, not named America. And you get 5 weeks vacation time to work at McDonald's. And you know how much more the Big Mac costs in Denmark than it does in the United States? 27 cents, folks. 27 cents more. That is it. That is it. That is the difference between living in a country where you have a corporate oligarchy, a plutocracy really, like this one, and when you live in other countries where the working class and the people have power to stand up for themselves and demand to be treated like human beings, so that what happened in Edwardsville, Illinois, does not happen to them. These people are overworked and underpaid at jobs that will often maim them for life. I played audio of the Frito-Lay worker some months ago who told the story and broke down crying after being electrocuted at work. He was taken to the hospital where he was found to have extensive damage to his nervous system and spine. And they made him come back to work a few days later and keep working until he collapsed. And now he's permanently injured. And I played that video of him and his wife, young black couple. You know, a lot of people say there's no more black couples, young black couples anymore, with that have children and get together and try to have a nuclear family. Well, this was it. This is a young black couple, married, had, I think, 2 or 3 kids. And Frito-Lay straight maimed the man. So he's unable to take care of his children. And when he decided to sue him, Frito-Lay hired private investigators to stalk him because they said he was faking it. They said the man was faking it. That is the state of labor here in the United States of America. This is how the working class is treated here in this country. And you see it every single day. Now, it's crazy. I just had a package delivered from Amazon not too long ago, during the height of the pandemic, when we were basically prevented from going anywhere. And a young black woman, she was driving the van, and she brought the package to my house. And you know, Amazon has the tracker where you can track where the package is. And so I saw she was 2 houses down from me. And so I went out there to meet her to you know, get the package and the thing for bringing it to me. And holy cow, it was about 6:30 in the evening. 6:30 in the evening. It was pretty late, considering it was. I think this is during the winter. I want to say that, but this was pretty late, and she looked completely stressed out. Completely stressed out. Hair was unkempt. Had a van full of boxes. I could tell that she had been through the ringer that day. So I thanked her, went about my way, went back in the house, took my package in the house, realized that she had given me my neighbor's package. One of the packages she had given me was my neighbor's from across the street. So I thought about, at that point, making a complaint with Amazon, being like, oh my God, you guys did not give me my, you know, getting on the Twitter, getting on the Amazon website, saying, you guys didn't bring me my package at the right time. How dare you? You brought the package to the wrong house. So anyway, so I looked at the package and I walked right across the street, knocked on my neighbor's door, and they had my package. And so we exchanged packages and said, you know, how you doing? Thanks, you know. And so I gave them their package. They gave me mine. I went back downstairs. And I went and I gave her a good review anyway. Now, a lot of people would be like, why would you do that? Why would you encourage her to make to mess up your package and not bring you the right thing? Why would you incentivize that? Why wouldn't you tell the truth about her bringing you the wrong package? And what I say to that is, look, this sister is out in the darkness in the middle of a pandemic. It's cold. Obviously, she's delivered hundreds of packages that day. I am not trying to make that sister's life no worse than it has to be. She is out here, mask hanging off. I know she's been through that wire. This is a sister who was sacrificing everything because I needed like a groomer. I needed a groomer to shave, and so like it's not even wasn't that big of a deal. So I gave her a positive, glowing review anyway, because she's putting her life out there for $15 an hour. As we talked about on this show many times before, that's not enough to even afford to live in most of the country. $15 an hour is not enough to buy you to pay your rent and all your utilities in most of the country. So yeah, I definitely gave her a good review on her performance, and I'm happy I did that. And I implore all of you to give a doggone about the people who are delivering your packages, who are bagging your groceries, who are out here collecting your garbage, mopping your floors, serving you hamburgers. Think about all the people who at McDonald's at the height of the pandemic. All these people making $7, $8 an hour at McDonald's because you need a Big Mac. And then if they don't get the order 100% right, you like, oh my God. They just completely, oh my God, they messed up my order. They messed up my order. I can't believe it. Meanwhile, that person's been there for what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, has served hundreds of hamburgers to people for low wages, no health care, no real shot of moving up in the middle of a pandemic that could, probably won't, but could kill them, especially in the early days. Just something to think about. Folks, please give me a call, 219-885-1371. That's 219-885-1371. The Rev couldn't be here today, apparently, so I'm going to take this opportunity to focus on the stuff I care about. You guys know I care about labor stuff. So when we come back, we're going to talk about Kellogg's and why we should not eat Kellogg's because they fired their workers. All right, folks. I'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Scott Rev on WLTH 1370 AM. Give us a call, 219-885-1371.